There's so many great, catchy melodies, all just jam-packed into one song. It's like too much. It's too much ear candy. What's up, friends? This last weekend, I checked out the new anime Frieren, and I really enjoyed it. Especially liked the music. Noticed that the opening song was by Yoasobi. Haven't listened to the full song yet, so I thought, hey, let's do a little reaction video where I check out the full song from Frieren by Yoasobi. We'll be looking at it from the perspective of a producer and songwriter. I'll be taking a lot of pauses, but hopefully I'll be able to add to your appreciation of the song. Great intro. We've got a low pass filter and a high pass filter as well on that vocal, which is just giving us kind of like this telephone effect on her vocal. It's a pretty commonly used strategy with Yoasobi music in general. So you hear it a lot, especially to start songs. And it's a good way to create a build in energy because at first everything is really isolated in terms of frequency range. So we can create a massive shift in energy in a short amount of time. There's this really cool bell-like synth that is doing this descent in the background. It sounds so good. It's really responding to the vocal. Kind of has like this back and forth effect. It's great. Never getting in the way of the vocal. Cool, interesting pitching going on right here. They're speeding up the vocal to give it a really distinct effect. And they're adding kind of different effects and letting those effects play off of each other in a cool way. So we still have vocals, but they sound more like an instrument, which is a great thing. You hear it a lot in EDM, and you hear it a lot in Yoasobi's music as well. Interesting vocal manipulation to create a cool musical effect. Got two things going on with the vocals there. Again, we are isolating the frequency range. So we're taking out those high frequencies and those low frequencies. And we're also adding something called a vocoder, which is creating that really electronic effect. A vocoder basically assigns a vocal to a very specific note. In doing so, there's a lot of technological sounding artifacts that get attached to that vocal. So we hear that right there. And because the frequencies are so isolated, but the bell instrument frequencies are not isolated, we can hear those bells really, really clearly. So it allows us to focus on kind of different things going on in the song, depending on which part of the song we're listening to. That part's cool because we have kind of a reggaeton rhythm. Bump, bum 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 bum, just like smack dab in the middle of the song. And the synth also has more of an islander effect to it, so it draws our mind to that in general. Also, I think the lyrics in general for this song are so interesting because of the way she reflects the overall tone of the story of Frieren, talking about going back, talking about reliving this fantasy to better understand the people who surround us, which is exactly what's going on in the anime. So it's so cool that her lyrical storytelling is exactly in line with what's going on in the show itself. I love how that piano leads in to this next section. What a great run. Just blazing across that piano, going all the way up and then coming down for a little bit. It's sick. It's sick. Completely different section here. We've doubled the time. We've sped up that kick. So it's really moving and grooving in that portion right there. Creates a whole different energy. We've gone from a little bit of organic instrumentation to almost no organic instrumentation, where all the instrumentation sound very synthetic, very technological outside of the vocal. Great. Great. Really beaten, really rhythmic, really gets you moving. Really like the horns used right there. Also love the background type vocals that they're using there. Reminds me of those similar vocals that they used in the song Idol. You know, you're seeing a little passing through of the production. They learned something in production for one song and put it into this new song. Love the horns coming from that kind of transition section and making its way into the primary part right here. Also a nice little tom fill. Don't know if you noticed that, but it was great, and it really brought us into the section in a fun way, made you kind of pay attention to the drums in a way that I wasn't before. Oh, I love that part when everything's going so loud. We got those horns really blaring. I feel like horns add a ton of energy to a song. And then we drop all that back. And we have just a quick second where it's just the piano and the vocal. The piano's still doing these moving, grooving parts. We're not just supplying harmony information there. We're getting full on arpeggios, moving at the speed of light. And then we're coming back into another energetic session, I'm sure. Ooh. That transition there is so cool. I love the so good. It's such a pretty little melody. There's so many great, catchy melodies, all just jam-packed into one song. It's like too much. It's too much ear candy. And then we have this nice little breakdown with more of that steel drum sounding instrumentation like we had before. It's awesome. I love how quickly they're switching between elements. It's like in a 10-second period, so much is happening. We've rapidly gone from a isolated vocal frequency thing going on to full vocal frequencies, making it sound like a normal vocal. Drums have gone in and out and in and out. It's moving. It is taking those energy transitions and just whipping us around. I think it's so interesting just contrasting those choral type vocals on this song versus Idol, because on Idol there is such a dark side to those vocals. And here, that darkness isn't as prevalent, and I think it really reflects the tones of the two shows. This show is much more chill, much more easygoing. There's not a lot of really, really dark portions, at least so far, whereas in Idol, things get dark fast. Oh. Great. Great. Loved how they had a little back and forth between the bass and the piano there at the end, just kind of exchanging twos, really, because you're not exchanging fours at that point. Great stuff. What a song. What a song. Really enjoyed this song. I've been really enjoying the anime as well. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that my thoughts on this song have given you new things to appreciate when you listen to the song. If that's the case, I'd really appreciate if you like, comment, share, subscribe, check out my music, and also, most importantly, tell your friends about what I'm doing here. Word of mouth is the best way for creative acts to maintain themselves and spread. As I said, got my own music here. I think if you dig this stuff, you'll like what I'm doing. Thanks so much. Catch you on the flip.
Maybe you're better off staying in my dreams. Nothing's ever as good as it seems.